Going down to rock bottom. Gonna go, my boss. Ah,
Thanks, Yoda. Welcome to the Krusty Cast. A very special episode of Yeah, we have a guest here. Introduce
Hi,
yourself.
guest.
Oh, hi. I'm Frankie, um, and I'm here now.
Hey.
Frankie is here now. Where can we find you elsewhere, Frankie?
Oh, yeah. You can find me on at Food for Thought. That's FOODFORTHOT on Tumblr. And then want to see me draw dinosaurs and robots and shit. I am on Twitter at Deceptagoon with an underscore at the end, and without an underscore on Instagram.
All right.
I love
Hey.
dinosaurs and robots, but I'm not that big a fan of shit.
Well,
Oh.
enough.
Oh, well.
Can't please
But
everyone.
as we mentioned, this is a very special episode. We've got a guest here. We've shifted the camera to a different wall in the building.
Yeah.
As it turns out, we've all been
Presumably.
employees of the month.
Yeah.
For us.
Has this podcast
Presumably we're
lasted
all
5
just
months?
talking at this
I
wall.
think it has.
That's
I think we
insane.
started in like August.
Didn't we start
Yeah.
it? Yeah, we started it like in August.
Yep.
Wow.
Crazy.
We're so close to our year anniversary. We got to do something special for them.
We're not that close, actually. But
It's
yeah.
right around the corner, Maddie. It's right around the corner.
Maybe by then we'll be done season 1.
Let's not get crazy
Possibly.
now.
Speaking of season 1, what episodes are we talking about today?
We are talking about R. Thank you for the visual aid, Maddie. And Rock Bottom, which
You
Yoda
hadn't-
already mentioned earlier in the
Yeah.
intro.
Hadn't guessed yet.
We might have some secret guest surprises.
I'll
Yeah.
say.
Hmm.
But who wants to take the reins on this episode?
Wow.
Okay.
I'm eating
we
macaroni and cheese.
We probably should have decided on that beforehand, but
It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll just start as all episodes in this season typically do with the Krusty Krab,
yeah. The Krusty
where it's one of those classic the Krusty Krab is fucking deserted and dead episodes, not a soul to be found.
This episode took place during 2008, actually.
You're right. I'm assuming.
Yeah. We'll say that.
That was a recession joke for you kids out there.
Hooray! The only souls in the Krusty Krab are SpongeBob and Patrick, who are playing a board game. Where
No
they find...
Squidward though.
No
No
Squidward.
Squidward.
Squidward died.
Squidward is like notoriously absent from this episode, and it's
Yeah, it's
kind of weird
weird.
if you think about it for a bit.
Like, are they
Yeah.
there on like the weekend or so? Or no, they're not.
I
'Cause,
mean,
yeah, it's
They're
because
open.
I'm thinking about an alternate version of this episode where Patrick's not here and it's SpongeBob and
Yeah.
Squidward that are his pirate crew, but you'd have to like have a reason for SpongeBob and Squidward to want to play a board game together, I guess.
Yeah. It'd be like convincing
Yeah.
Squidward to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we get Mr. Krabs. Somebody mentions the balloons, I believe, and at which point Mr. Krabs exclaims, "I saw it first," or
think
something
this is-
along those lines, and
I
then he
think this is the
leaps
first,
onto
like-
the table.
I think this is the first like super codified like greedy Mr. Krabs episode where like the main joke of it and the main joke of his character is that he's greedy and an asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah, this definitely feels like that, and it's also a first. And I need your all opinions on this. Is this the first time we've ever seen Mr. Krabs and Patrick like interact at all in the show?
I
think
think so, yeah.
I think
Might
so.
be, yeah.
I know Patrick
feel
has
like
been in the Krusty Krab, but he hasn't
Yeah.
interacted
them
with
actu-
Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, them actually holding a conversation together.
I feel like
Yeah.
they build a very like natural rapport in this episode. I think this episode, if anything, does a good job at establishing how Mr. Krabs and Patrick interact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like this whole opener. I think it's a really cute opening
Yeah.
segment.
Mhm.
They're just
I
having
like that.
fun with a board
Yeah.
game.
I'm a massive fan of tabletop games, so I like that this whole like opening part is like centered around a board game. That said, now that I'm watching this episode again, this board game kind of seems like it sucks ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the card
Yeah.
that instantly
I-
I
lets you
wrote
win the
down
game.
how many board games just have like a fucking insta win condition?
Just
Yeah.
what Monopoly had like in the community chest, there's one card that's like you win the game automatically.
Yeah, what if Monopoly had like cheat codes?
Oh, so this is a great moment with kind of skipped over where SpongeBob points out how sweaty Mr. Krabs is getting
It's
Yeah.
like
at the
a
mention of money.
running gag in
Yeah.
the episode is that Mr. Krabs is sweaty, and it's kind of like I think it kind of has diminishing returns over the course of the episode.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
I
they
think
space it out well enough that it works for me.
I think
And
it's
the thing is,
funniest the first time here.
They kind of
yeah,
front load it with the sweaty jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do
yeah,
a
it just
rule
makes
of
sense.
threes thing, but the
So when they like,
last one is at like the very end of the episode, so we'll get there.
pretty sure there's
Um,
4 of it actually, which is
what are there?
I don't remember at the
Okay,
top of my head, even though I just watched this.
but
And I think it was
yeah,
just the thing is like a joke that's funny once, but it isn't funnier the more they repeat it. It is kind of like
Yeah.
by the time it was
it
done, I was like,
doesn't.
why do they keep mentioning Mr. Krabs' sweat?
To be
Yeah.
fair, they do this in the Sailor Mouth episode when Patrick asks if that's the red sweaty guy SpongeBob works for.
I maybe this is just what Patrick sees Mr. Krabs as his like notorious trait.
Yeah.
So I
More
I-
said,
more Mr. Krabs fan art needs to get the sweat.
I don't think it does.
And later on in Krusty Krab training video, it's like he made the Krusty Krab with his blood, sweat, and tears, but mostly his sweat.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
is sweat such a persisting running trait for Mr. Krabs?
leave a comment if you want to see, if you like to see sweaty crabs fan art.
Don't do that.
like
Do it.
this thumbs up this video if you enjoy that trait that Mr. Krabs
Yes.
possesses.
And don't
You just
forget
wanna
to
see it-
hit that.
This burly,
Yeah.
sweaty old man.
So
If you
About
want to
this-
see more Mr. Krabs sweat, hit the subscribe button and
I
hit
think
the
we
bell
needed to
for
move on from
notifications.
this sweat bit now,
Yeah.
please.
Okay.
So I
so
felt watching the episode.
yeah, about this board game. As a kid, I was always obsessed with like the physicality of like, okay, you got a thing in the center of the board, and you have to
Yes.
like, it's like real sand that you have to dig it out and with like a little shovel.
Mhm.
I was going
I
to
mean-
Very
bring this
kinetic.
up. The idea of that to me was so I was captivated by that as a concept, and
Yeah.
also kind
It
of
seems like a-
frustrated by the fact that like how do you reset that when you're
Yeah.
done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it's supposed to be a
that's what I
bitch
was-
to
And
clean
put
up
the
and like
X on and
reset.
everything.
They probably just send like bags of kinetic sand to just bury on top of it. This
How do you
game,
like you like have to paint the X on top every time or what?
that's a very good question.
God.
This
I don't
seem-
think they put much thought into the mechanics of this board game that's here as a framing device.
All I know is this board game it would definitely be one of
There
those
he
board
is.
games that your parents would hate you for playing because it always leaves a mess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There he is.
There
Oh,
you
yeah,
go.
Here
boy,
it is. This is
This is
like
special
the my. I'm pretty sure this is why
Yeah.
Fred became the my leg guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
for
this
sure.
codifies it. Like, first off, this is like we really get to see like put a face to the clip in this joke, and also it's just such a
Mhm.
classic joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably just like the funniest joke in the episode. Just the sheer violence of it.
Well, we kind of skimmed over that Mr. Krabs is interested and now he's obsessed with a game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, he skipped over the
Oh,
joke where he hires Patrick so he can fire him because he's
yes,
mad at him.
yeah.
I wanted to bring that up. It's so funny. It's such a
That's
good
really good.
interaction.
That's probably my favorite
Yeah.
joke in the episode because it's cute.
I
Yeah,
love
this is
the
what I mean by like.
lighting.
Also,
This is what I mean by like
Uh,
they had a really good like dynamic for these two right away in this episode.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love the lighting in this shot where it's just like he's still playing. He's real.
Mr. Krabs.
He
He's
is
also
so
so
said-
happy.
excited.
It's like
He's
This is how
so
I feel.
excited about this tiny plastic treasure chest. Do you
This
think he'll
is-
be happy about it at the end of the episode?
That
Hmm.
frames
Probably.
like
How
a
I feel trying to convince my friends to play Magic the Gathering with me.
a Norman Rockwell painting. It evokes
Yeah.
something.
Dark crabs.
Yeah, here
So
we have
yeah,
Tom and
SpongeBob
Wade
goes
Krabs.
Well, yeah, SpongeBob's tired, and we get pissed Bob for a little bit now,
Yeah.
which we don't often
I-
get.
Mr. Krabs
I wrote
breaks
down in
into
my
his
note.
fucking employee's home and tries to play a board
Yeah.
game with him.
It's like we get like a droopy dog bit with him here where
Yeah.
he keeps like
He opens the
teleporting
door.
seemingly.
He opens
my
the door
bo-
to kick him out, and he's already outside to pester him more.
Yeah.
If my boss did this to me, I'd find a different job.
Yeah. Cool.
And-
Even if you loved your job like the Bob himself?
Well, maybe if I were in the Bob's shoes.
Mhm.
That he wears to bed.
This is
Yeah.
this is a classic Angry Bob moment.
It's
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
kind of an Angry Bob block, isn't it?
this whole like Angry Bob moment it's very Rocco's Modern Life to me when Rocco would get
yeah.
mad and scream and get really
Yeah.
big.
The big screaming head with like the action lines.
Fucking SpongeBob saying he's gonna do something not nice.
I feel like he could be pushed in this moment to do something like that. He didn't have any remorse.
Yeah.
Is this on the TV Tropes Nightmare Fuel page, by the way?
Ah. Hold on, you continue the episode. I'll go check.
So
TV Tropes
SpongeBob.
expert Gwen on the case.
So SpongeBob goes to bed. He wakes up the next
Yes.
morning.
Oh,
And
Goes
thank
to
there's,
bed and
God.
he's in his bed.
there's noise outside. Oh,
Wait, we
what
need
is
to
it?
mention
Yeah,
when
we
he
didn't
wakes
mention.
up.
Yeah, we
He
get a
wakes the
bedroom
meme
scene
face.
Oh yeah, we do get a bedroom scene, and he's in
Yeah,
with the
bed.
bedroom-
meme face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah, the meat face.
I just want to take a sec. Oh yeah. But I do want to take a second to highlight. I don't know if you got a picture of it, but the sunrise, the way that they painted it is like
Yeah.
gorgeous.
It's really good.
Really
I have
pretty.
Yeah,
that-
that's really notable to me. It's
We don't
like
really
Yeah.
see that much.
Mhm.
You know, we
We've-
see sunset and like
I-
yeah.
I think the only time so far we've seen a sunrise is an opposite day.
Mhm.
I just
It looks
noticed
really
that
pretty there.
there's still the fucking table outside
Yeah.
his house in this shot.
He left it
I
there.
completely
Whose
Yes,
table
by the
is
way-
that, by the way? Is that Mr. Krabs? Did he bring it with him? Is it SpongeBob's?
That's Mr.
Hey.
Krabs' famous table.
Yeah.
Yes, Gwen.
I have terrible news. This episode does not have an entry on the Nightmare Fuel page.
I'm
But
surprised.
there's so many
What the
scary
fuck?
moments in it.
How? Yeah, what?
They
It's
have
okay.
the Flying Dutchman.
They have
It's
the
okay,
Mr.
Rock Bottom
Krabs
is
getting
here.
mad at them with the later. The weird. Anyway. So
Yeah, let's
SpongeBob
go.
wakes up and it's like there's something outside the window. What's happening? It's Mr. Krabs with a giant fucking boat.
This boat is so stupid looking.
What is it supposed? So if boatmobiles are
Yeah.
like cars, what is this like a?
Pretty
Like
sure this is
a-
just a boat because he like rows it and it like it
yeah,
rows.
true. Yeah.
It's probably like
Yeah,
one of
all
those
boat,
horse-drawn
no mobile.
carriages if we need like
Yeah.
an equivalent.
Yeah.
It's a midlife crisis, is what it is.
Yeah.
Like
This is our first Mr.
Presumably-
Krabs has a midlife crisis episode.
yeah, like presumably he either had this already, which I doubt, or he like went out and bought this at like 5 in the morning. Wrote it over here.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that.
Squidward's house.
I like to imagine that Squidward sees this happening and is just so glad he's not involved in this.
Yeah. Just has a peaceful day at home. This
So
episode.
Mr. Krabs pitches the idea of them being real pirates, and then SpongeBob and Patrick shows up, and they're both really excited about it.
I love how Patrick just shows up here.
Yeah,
He just pops
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
very efficient way to get him in the episode. And so Mr. Krabs is like, "All right, we're going on a treasure hunt, but you guys are super cringe because you're dancing around. Now put on these outfits so I'm not like embarrassed to fucking be around you."
Yeah.
He does basically say that, word for word.
Yeah,
Uh,
pretty much.
So they do, and we get a kind of funny bit where SpongeBob puts on both peg legs and Patrick has both eye patches on. And then they stumble over because they're goofballs.
Really.
Yes, they do that. Yeah.
What are their names?
It's
SpongeBob.
Peggy the
Peggy-
pirate.
And
And-
Blindbeard the pirate.
Yeah.
Right.
And Mr. Krabs he's not happy with it. I'm sure he's already regretting it.
Yeah.
And then they're off.
They're off.
Yep, they're off.
SpongeBob asks Miss.
Oh, okay. I just want to talk about reiterate how much I love this stupid boat. Because, like, there's no purpose for it to be like this.
No.
It's a pirate ship, but they didn't want to make, like, a big, full-sized pirate ship. So it's just, like,
Yeah.
a pathetic little lifeboat with, like, a steering wheel and a crow's
like-
nest on it.
It's like a Mario
I
3
mean-
ass airship.
Oh, wait, we glossed over something here. There's a whole bit where Mr. Krabs tells them that real pirates don't say okie dokie then. Real pirates say arg.
Oh, yeah.
And,
This
so we get what will be the first of two interspersed noises between words bits. And
I really
bit.
like
Oh my
that.
god,
This
you're
week.
right.
Which I think is really funny. I don't think the bit is funny. I think it's kind of
Oh,
really
no.
annoying and grating, but it is there.
They had the same idea twice.
Yeah. I wonder
Yeah.
if that was independently of each other. I didn't check who the writers were on these.
And neither
Let me check right now.
Anyway.
neither bit is especially good either, but they dipped into that
No.
inkwell twice.
This
Yeah.
episode was written by Sherm Cohen, Vincent Waller, and Meriwether Williams. Rock Bottom was written by Paul Tibbett, Ennio Torreson Jr., and David Fain, so different writers.
Wow. Three
like-
writers
yeah,
each, and all of them have the same idea.
I like to think that they were in two different writers' room, like, oh, their interspersed noise word bit. They think theirs is better than ours. We'll show them.
Yeah.
Okay, commenters, are you Team ARG or are you Team Tongue Noise?
Team Raspberry.
Team Raspberry?
Raspberry.
Look at the
I mean,
comments
out of
below.
obligation mostly.
If you liked ARG, like the video, but if you like Raspberry more, dislike the video.
We're gonna get so much
Yeah,
viewer
sure.
engagement in this episode.
Yeah.
And so they're about to crash into this big mass of coral. And SpongeBob does his funny arg bit for way too long.
Yeah.
And
they
Patrick
crash.
joins in. Which, Mr. Krabs, you should have seen this coming. That's a very tall, like, cliff.
Yeah.
How'd they get to the top of it, too?
But
I like the joke where SpongeBob says the whole ship is underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. I think
'Cause
that
Mr.
might be
Krabs
my
asks.
favorite joke of the episode.
I was like, when
It's-
SpongeBob
it's-
has tiny little like dialogue jokes like that.
really
So they have
funny.
they crash the boat, and they have to abandon it and
And they
go
have to do
walk on
several
foot.
pieces.
Yeah.
We get another kind of iconic bit here.
The Weast.
I do like Mr. Krabs
Yeah.
just ripping the third leaf off so
Yeah.
it's the seaweed.
That's a solid one.
Yeah.
And then they're off, and then
Weast is like
This-
an iconic joke, but honestly, I don't think it's really that funny.
No,
Looking at
yeah.
it
Yeah.
again.
it's
Kind
definitely
felt
one of
the same
those.
way, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those jokes that's like, okay, this is the one you picked to be the one you remember. I guess it's because as a kid, you probably think "weast" is a funny word.
Yeah, it's just a funny word. It also is
Definitely.
very quotable because whenever someone says East, you can be like, "Oh, I thought you said Weast," and you can get like 50 Reddit upvotes.
Yeah,
Good
You're
old
in your
Wheat
second.
Virginia.
I do
You
at least
say
like
that.
the punchline being that Mr. Krabs fires Patrick again.
Yeah,
Yes, that is really good.
it's an example of a rule of two joke that works.
Yeah, it's just a
I
callback.
didn't notice this tent as a crow's nest. I guess we should get there.
Where did
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr.
first we need
Krabs
to
get
get to Mr.
this?
Krabs like gaslighting, manipulating.
He starts to guilt
Yeah.
trip them
Yeah.
because they start to like doubt his map reading abilities or whatever.
This is
He
when Mr.
like starts
Krabs' true color.
crying.
It's when
This
his
is when
true
he
colors
becomes nightmare
show.
fuel.
Well, we need to talk about that. He's making SpongeBob and Patrick fucking sleep outside on the ground. He got this big tent
Yeah.
for himself, but he
Yeah.
couldn't invest in like some fucking sleeping bags.
People talk a lot about Mr. Krabs' flanderization, but this is season 1, and this is basically already like the kind of shit people would get mad at him for doing in like season 4 or 5. This is like
Honestly.
Yeah,
Wait.
Reed
literally,
Krabs already.
like I think Mr. Krabs was like kind of always like this.
And for what it's
Yeah.
worth, I also don't think this is a very like fun aspect of the episode. I think it kind of drags it down how like unpleasant he is in this.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
That's fair.
So
yeah.
like so we get them laying on the ground outside talking about how loyal they are. Like I can't remember
Oh,
what the first one is, but they're like, I'm so
I'm so
loyal.
loyal. I don't mind sleeping on the cold, hard ground while Mr. Krabs gets to sleep in his warm, dry tent.
Yeah, and then Patrick says, I'm so loyal, I haven't bathed in weeks. And SpongeBob's like, we've only been here for a
A
day.
couple hours.
Or, yeah, a
Yeah.
couple hours. And then Patrick says, I know, and he does a little giggle, and then SpongeBob does a funny, like, little scuttle away from him.
I
I
love SpongeBob's little scuttle there.
I like this joke. It's really quick and it's just a fun little exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
so they
then-
decide. I don't know what drives them to go inside. I don't remember.
I can't remember either.
And
I
they're like,
think-
we're gonna see if Mr. Krabs wants to go right now because we're so loyal and excited. And
Oh,
then they see
yeah,
the map.
Oh
yeah.
right.
Mhm.
And so they
So-
do that. They go in
Yeah.
his shitty tent that only has a bed and a table with the map. You got
Yeah.
a
And
crow's nest on this tent, but you couldn't get some more furniture in there, Krabs.
God.
Do you think that Mr. Krabs eats like a salad similar to Squidward's beloved salad? He eats a salad made from the third leaf on the seaweed plant.
Oh, that's why he took it.
Yeah.
Chekhov's seaweed leaf.
And so they're like, "Oh, hey, there's the map over there, but we shouldn't touch the map. It's only Captain gets to do that."
Mhm.
No,
And
but
then
they
Patrick's
just
like,
look
oh,
at
he
it.
never
one of them's
said
like, no, we can't look at it, but we can touch it. And Patrick starts poking at it, and they both start poking at it, and then it opens on its own.
Do you think they knew it was gonna unfold, and that's
Yeah.
why
Oh,
they did this?
definitely. Being a couple little turds. Little
What
couple
were you
little
gonna say, Glenn?
scallywags.
I
I
don't
forget.
think they were gonna sing it. Oh. Mhm.
So
Well,
they nightmare fuel look at the map, and then they get the tiny small eyes that freaked me out as a kid.
yeah.
That shit scared me.
It was mostly Krabs suddenly appearing here that scared
Mr.
me.
Krabs
as a
is
kid.
fucking scary in season 1.
Where
He's
was
scary in this episode. Like,
where was Mr. Krabs at during this, by the way?
I don't know.
he went to take a
He was
leak.
under the
out
table.
peeing or something. I don't know.
He was hiding under his bed.
Yeah, there you go. He was in the crow's nest.
Yeah.
And so
And
Mr.
SpongeBob and
Krabs is going to
Patrick.
kill them.
Yeah.
I mean, first we have to go over the fact that SpongeBob and Patrick learned the maps literally just the fucking board
Oh
game.
yeah, right.
Cards and all, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then Mr.
he
Krabs.
starts talking about how he's gonna throw them overboard, even though there's no ship anymore. And then they realize that they're standing right on top of the X, and Mr. Krabs' eyes do this funny X thing.
Yeah.
And they
Like how the
start
X is like
dig, dig,
a
dig,
real
digging.
physical thing that they were looking for. And like earlier, Mr. Krabs is like, why isn't there the
Yeah.
X here? I like that they live in a cartoon.
Me too.
It's fun when there's a cartoon.
And so Mr. Krabs makes them dig because he's a scumbag and doesn't want to help.
Mhm.
If this was
And
a
so
season 4 or 5 episode, Mr. Enter would have made like a whole video about how this is like the worst Mr. Krabs is a prick episode.
Yeah.
So
Hey, what's stopping him now?
Because he was each talking about High Guardian Spice.
And then they find the treasure, they open it, oh, lots of money. But they start arguing about
oh wait,
who
we skipped over the angelic chorus that plays
Oh, yeah.
when they open it up.
Oh, that
It's
doesn't
got
pick up on my mic.
it's
at
got a
all.
red there's a red shoe.
There we go.
There's a red shoe in the treasure
Yeah.
box.
Yeah. It's like a ruby slipper joke. I don't know. Anyway,
It's a brooch. They talk about that and Gary takes a bath.
Yeah.
What a payoff.
so they start fighting over it.
Yeah. And
It's in
we
this
get-
scene.
Yeah.
It's in this scene I realized something with Patrick that has definitely been around for a while. That it's just a little bit strange that his eyelids are purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always liked that,
Mhm.
but
No,
that's
I do
probably not
too.
surprising given what my Sona looks like. Just I don't know.
We've just never brought it
an
up
interesting
before.
little detail.
So after this we get our, I guess you could count it as either our second or third sleeping scene in the episode.
Oh my god,
The rare
the revolutionary Flying Dutchman sleeping in bed scene.
I just love that he needs to sleep.
Yeah.
And also the fact that in his sleep he's like the way he's snoring is I'm the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah.
I'm
So
the
fucking
Flying
cool. I wish I was
Dutchman.
the
I
Flying
think that's a
Dutchman.
really fucking good bit.
He's doing his affirmations.
We were
His
talking the other
primary
day
character
about
trait
how
is
the Flying Dutchman's like quietly one of the best characters on the show.
that
It
we love
really
the Flying
is.
Dutchman.
I love every time he appears. You can definitely tell they cast him as Knuckles because of this. In Flapjack.
What's that actor's name?
Brian Doyle Murray.
He's got such a voice on him.
I know. I don't think
And, yeah.
I think he's like Gilbert Gottfried. Nobody else could do it like he does it.
No. For sure. So he gets woken up by their fighting because he just happened to be floating directly above where his treasure was, even though he didn't know where it was.
He
Yeah.
probably knew where
Which we
where
find
it
out-
was. He just didn't want to dig it up.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I do like the twist that he's like very like cool about. It's like, oh, thanks, you helped me out with this. Here, have some doubloons.
Yeah.
2 gold doubloons. Because he asks, "Who dug up me treasure?" And then Mr. Krabs, of course, pins the blame on SpongeBob and Patrick immediately. And then the twist is that they get rewarded, and Krabs is like, "Well, what do I
Hey.
get?"
And
And
the Flying Dutchman he probably had it in his pocket because he knew he'd fuck with someone someday with it. He had
Yeah.
like the board game treasure on him.
yeah, and
Plastic!
plastic.
And now Mr. Krabs is not happy to see this chest. His character arc has come full circle.
But he is sweaty.
Yeah.
The last time the episode was Patrick being like, "Hey, he's sweaty."
This cockeyed look that he gets really kills me.
He's sweaty again, everyone at home.
It's based on a real treasure chest.
It's based on real sweat.
Hmm.
And then the Flying Dutchman just leaves. He shows up for a minute. He gives SpongeBob and Patrick a little treat, and then he fucks off.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he showed up.
And then
I'm
that's
just glad to see him.
the end of the episode, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
Cool.
wanna give our rankings?
Yes.
I think we
Yeah,
could.
alright. We didn't take it
That's
away.
fine. I couldn't find him in the list.
That's fine.
Alright.
I really liked this one. I thought it was fun. I think it's just generally solid jokes, fun setup. Get a lot of I don't know, I like it.
I think
I don't have like
does-
a ton to say about it,
I
but
think it says something that we didn't finish the collage and we had to stretch out an image to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I don't know, I don't have a lot to say other than I think it is funny. I like seeing Mr. Krabs Patrick banter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it. It's good.
So what's your rating?
6.
Okay, Maddie.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid episode. You know, it's nothing special, but it's definitely a good character episode for Mr. Krabs. It's good to see him and Patrick interacting. I like how SpongeBob just does not really like putting up with him. We got the angry Bob for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
We get the character arc of Mr. Krabs being obsessed with the board game and the plastic treasure, and then at the end, he gets exactly what he wanted.
Yep.
I like the stupid fucking boat. As a kid, I would always avoid watching this one because I didn't like when Mr. Krabs got angry when they found the map. But I gave it a 5. It's a very solid episode.
It's still so messed up that they don't have a Nightmare Fuel page for this episode. I contend it's the scariest one in the series. Even scarier than our next one, even.
Gwen.
Oh yeah, my turn. I don't know. I'm not high on this episode like everyone else is. I think this episode was kind of mid, and it had some fun parts. I like the concept of it a lot. I think having like SpongeBob and Patrick and Mr. Krabs go on this pirate adventure is a fun setup for them. But I also think the episode is dragged down because Mr. Krabs just isn't very enjoyable to watch in this.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't like that many jokes, and the jokes that are there are a little hit or miss, or like aren't laugh out loud funny. Mr. Krabs and Patrick do have a dynamic, but even that isn't like that big a part of the episode. It's just kind of
Yeah.
like it's just kind of a whatever episode for the most part for me. I gave it a 4.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave it a 5. It's one that I don't think there's anything stellar about it, but there's nothing wrong with it. But there's more to it that elevates it up to a 5. The opening bit is really funny. Everything is really good until the pirate stuff starts. including the stupid Mr. Krabs boat, which I love a lot
Yeah.
and wish showed up more often. The last bit is a little slow, and Mr. Krabs is extremely unpleasant the whole way through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But at least he like got a fittingly ironic comeuppance for what he did.
Mhm.
All in all, a solid episode, I think.
Yeah.
Now for our guest.
Did you say what your rating was?
5 out of 7.
Okay. So, yeah, I actually kind of came out of this feeling a little less positively than I originally was. But I still feel like it's a really solid episode. Um, like, yeah, the opening bit with the Mr. Krabs hiring and firing Patrick, that really sticks out to me. I love um the whole chorus bit.
Mhm.
Those bits are really funny to me, and they like it's one of those bits that really sticks with you. Like
For sure.
uh the number of times that I think plastic when I'm just like going about my day to day. There's something to be said of that, but I also think that it can really drag in a lot of places, like when they're just kind of walking around, and I don't know. It has its moments, but
Mhm.
I gave it a originally gave it a 6 out of 7, but I think after this, I'm going to settle on a 5 out of 7.
Mm,
Yeah.
fair
That's
enough.
fair.
Oh, something we should have considered is how the guest ranking affects our overall ranking of the episode, I suppose.
Oh,
I'm just
sure.
not counting it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm,
I'm like counting a little bit, like I'm weighting it a bit above like other episodes of the same weight if the guest gives it a good score. But
fair
you know.
enough. Hmm.
Mhm.
That was ARG, the
That
That
was
was
episode.
ARG.
That was hard.
Now, our guest for today has prepared us a middle segment.
Mhm.
That I have. So, well, one thing I wanted to say, because I forgot to at the beginning. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Good to
It's
be here.
really good to have you.
So
Yeah.
thank you. So as you may be able to tell, I do really like SpongeBob a whole awful lot, but
Mm,
it's not my main wheelhouse. That is and always will be Transformers.
mhm,
And so when I was thinking about some way to tie that into uh, SpongeBob, the thing that seemed most obvious to me is every now and then Transformers has had these like crossover things, like they've done Star Wars and Marvel, and now they have a whole subline dedicated to it where they usually do like 80s, 90s pop culture stuff, like Jurassic Park and stuff like that. So I was thinking that it would be pretty cool to think about what if they did a uh, SpongeBob Transformers crossover, and if they did, what vehicles or whatever would you like to see turned into a giant transforming robot? Um, and these are usually like they kind of just make it into like an original character, like it's not supposed to be Optimus Prime as whatever, but so yeah, just guess if anybody had there's one idea that I think I'll just get out of the way. The obvious joke to make here is the invisible boatmobile.
Yeah, I was gonna make the same joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just get that one out of the way. But if anybody else had any ideas,
I think they should
I have
do
two.
The Rock from Pizza Delivery, I think.
I thought of that as well. Yeah.
Well, now that we've gotten past Arg, I am suddenly thinking it would be funny if there was one that transformed into the stupid ass boat.
God
Mr.
damn it,
Krabs
Maddie! You
shaped
stole
pirate
one
ship.
of my two. Now I'm mad.
Aww. Aww.
It's all right. My
Yeah.
other
Only
one's
so
good
many.
too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you know how in some episodes, because we specified it doesn't necessarily need a vehicle, there's something in some episodes that has been known to move and act of its own free will. What I want from this potential crossover is new character based around Squidward's house.
Yeah,
When it comes to
Yeah.
Oh
play,
yeah.
I think that the robot form should just be the security system from Good Neighbors.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a villain. It's one of the evil ones. It's like it wants to destroy Bikini Bottom, so Squidward has to do community service on his day off.
even though SpongeBob and Patrick,
Yeah.
even though
Even
Optimus
though
Prime and Patrick,
Optimus Prime and
Well,
Patrick.
once we get to that episode, we'll be talking about that a lot. That
Yeah.
the
Optimus
yeah,
Prime episode.
yeah.
The famous
I think
Optimus
they should
Prime
also make
episode.
one of the fucking Joe Biden Squidward crushing device.
Yes.
Yes, you're so right. I think I actually have seen somebody do that. I think I've seen
Oh.
art
Holy
Oh my
shit.
of
god.
I
somebody
want to see that.
doing that. I have no idea how I would be able to find it, but
I think the
I'm
character I think
almost positive.
the Transformers name should just be Joe Biden.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All one word.
So
Yeah.
who else hasn't gone yet? I'll go last.
I don't really have anything in mind because I only was informed of this middle segment 1 minute before starting. I just think it would be cool to see the bus because the buses are cool and big and red.
Mhm.
Yeah.
SpongeBob
That was
buses
one
look
of
very
Bus is a
cool.
bus is just a very iconic SpongeBob vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
I
want
mean,
to
Feels
see
like
one
a
of Sponge.
character in its own right in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, especially in Rock Bottom, but
Yeah.
also I think it'd be cool to see as one of like SpongeBob's unicycle and or Squidward's recumbent bike.
Wait,
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
hang
I
on,
don't know where
hang
you'd
on.
Unicycle
fit the
was like
robot
the
in there,
first
but
idea
yeah.
I had, and I kind of forgot it until you brought it up.
I have a bonus answer to this.
Yeah,
I'm sure you all remember Opposite Day and Squidward's stupid little shell car he had. No, the paper.
Yes.
It was the paper.
The paper.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna talk about Squidward's bulldozer.
That too. I think
That
I
could
should
be
have
like
both.
that could be like a couple of like comedic bad guy Transformers.
Yeah.
It's like the shell car is like the really small one who bosses the big bulldozer one
Oh,
around.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess for my ideas, I thought, yeah, like the bus, um, maybe, I mean, the paddy wagon is a pretty obvious one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
While we were
That'd be
setting
cool.
up, we
You could-
found a concept for that. I was just looking
Yeah,
on like
yeah.
Google Images, and yeah, this looks pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that I know it's funny, like I've actually seen the bootleg that they clearly just glued a bunch of stuff onto to make that, but I think it's very successful. Um, but anyway, so you could do that. You could do, um, the Hasselhoff.
Oh, yeah.
My
I
god.
don't.
He's kind of
Would he
David
already a
like
Hasselhoff
Hasselhoff
transformer.
turns
turn?
into a robot.
Would like Hasselhoff turn into a vehicle, or Hasselhoff turns like a larger man?
Yeah,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
we can
Here's
figure it
Yeah.
out.
in my head, it's like this. It's David Hasselhoff. He's got all of the human parts, right? He's got all the skin and stuff, but he's just built like a transformer.
See, there are things from the original toy line called Pretenders, where a lot of them were just like really normal looking white dudes in like fantasy armor, and then you split them open and there's a robot inside.
Oh my god.
So
Oh.
maybe we can get a Pretenders revival with a SpongeBob X Transformers David Hasselhoff crossover
But that-
figure.
Yeah, that. I think that's
Think of
the
that.
Yeah,
that's the
I'm
most
here for it.
likely crossover.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
Yeah, Maddie.
1 week later.
Hi, so we had to record this part of the episode a week after the previous one because we had to cut it off. Fun. So if there's anything inconsistent between them, that's why. Woo!
We're back.
We've been sitting here
back
for a
from the
full
dead.
week trying to figure this out.
Yeah,
we
were
got
just
Timmy corrupted, but then
we were
We're
just talking
fine
about
now.
Hasselhoff Transformer
Yeah, yeah.
guy. Yeah.
And
And about Transformers, in the week we have found finally the image of the Squidward Crusher Transformer. Here it is.
Awesome.
really love it.
Yeah. And
So,
yeah.
are we gonna post official SpongeBob Transformer also?
Right. Did you want to bring that
Oh,
up,
yeah.
Jasmine?
Yes. So in the season 11 episode Sanitation Insanity, it's an episode about SpongeBob and Squidward becoming garbage collectors. And in the climax, it becomes like a mech battle between them and Patrick, and their garbage truck transforms into a killer robot. And I feel that's relevant to this segment.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Season
I-
11's fucking wild.
Which I, as a Transformers fan, am particularly interested in because there's only been like 2 garbage truck Transformers in the entire history of the franchise. So it's just an interesting choice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
Do
what's
we
our
wanna-
what's our major takeaway from all of this? I think.
Transformers are cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I
That's a
think
good takeaway.
the paddy wagon is probably the most likely thing. Like if we're being
Yeah.
most realistic, but you could definitely go a lot zanier with it for
It
sure.
is probably the most iconic, I would say, SpongeBob vehicle. So yeah. Aside from
Yeah.
just like the regular boat.
Aside from
Right.
Squidward's house, another one we didn't bring up is we may have brought
No,
it
I
up
think-
last week.
Yeah, we did.
What about no? What about the Rock from Pizza Delivery?
Oh, true. I think we brought that
I
one
think
up
I
too.
I think we did bring that up.
We've been here for a solid week in silence.
Yeah, we kind of forgot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, on to the... Is that all? We have to go on to the funny episode?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Rock bottom.
rock bottom.
Rock bottom time, baby.
So this is the big exciting episode right here. So
Mhm.
exciting. We were
Mhm.
so excited. We sat here for a week trying to figure out how we were gonna do it good.
Uh-huh.
I
So-
mean,
that's what it
Frankie,
was.
the whole reason we have Frankie here is because she says it's her favorite episode of the show, so I'm
Yeah.
interested to get your perspective on this one.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to give my perspective on it.
If you wanna take the reins on it,
Oh,
go
sure.
right ahead.
I mean, we open, and the first thing that we see is Glove World.
the real new exciting setting of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except that it's only on screen for like 3 seconds.
Yeah,
It's
a
and then
weird
immediately
me
get
that,
on the
like-
bus and leave.
It's weird that
Glove-
this became a staple location in the series after this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If anything, I get a little bit surprised knowing that this is like its only appearance in the first 3 seasons, given how significant it becomes later on. Like,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
don't see it again until season 5. So,
They really just started
and
taking
it's
this
like,
thing and running with it later on.
and it's
Really
like
funny.
barely even a thing in season 1. Like, it's basically just this is the amusement park that SpongeBob and Patrick are leaving from, and that's
Yeah,
about the
what
extent
if
we get of it here.
what if there was an amusement park based around something boring and
Yeah.
random?
Like, I guess it's kind of makes sense because like cartoons, I guess, like
Yeah, maybe.
gloves, that kind of glove is like a very cartoony thing, but that's like literally the only thing. I think it's
Yeah.
just, I think the bit is just, yeah, like you said, that it's just a completely
Nonsensical.
boring.
I
Yeah.
was thinking it might
Mundane
have been so they
thing.
could do the bit where like the giant balloon smacks the guy in the face, but they might have like
Yeah.
made that after making a glove themed amusement park. Who knows?
Honestly,
Yeah.
honestly, bold of SpongeBob to take Patrick back to another amusement park after the incident last time.
Yeah.
Imagine the world
Yeah.
where Valentine's Day Land became the recurring amusement park.
Oh, man, that'd be really funny.
So they get on the bus, and we get a pretty funny bit of the bus driver getting smacked around by SpongeBob's big cumbersome balloon.
Mhm.
Yeah. Voiced by
Which
D. Bradley Baker.
that is a really good balloon. You would never get a balloon that good from somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
not
yeah.
these days because of woke.
Yeah, I'll say.
exactly.
Sigh.
So he smacks the guy in the face with the balloon on accident because he keeps turning around over and over, and it's funny. And the guy get mad, and then they go sit down.
Got a free
Um,
bus
He
ride.
just free bus ride.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. He just gets fed up with them. So then they're sitting on the bus, and I think they mention like how great Glove World was.
All the cool stuff they got from Glove World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The glove light.
yeah.
Surprise
This is a
tool.
surprise tool that
Chekhov's glove
same
light.
joke. Same joke. It's a surprise
glo-
tool that won't help us later.
yeah.
I like the glove action figure.
Yeah.
God, same.
Nickelodeon, they love bringing back the past. Make official merch of the glove action figure.
And make sure we can buy gloves for it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, I genuinely wanted a glove action figure because of this episode. I thought that it was so funny and cute. I just
Somebody
wanted
get
Honestly,
that.
same.
somebody get Good Smile on the horn. Tell him to make a glove Nindoroid.
Oh my god. So true.
And
Go ahead.
Okay,
so
Anyway.
Patrick looks out the window and notices they are, and he asks SpongeBob where leaving Bikini Bottom is. And there's a small detail, which is when he turns back to SpongeBob, SpongeBob's wearing one of the gloves from the glove action figure on his nose.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
he's getting silly.
Never noticed that.
He's having
It's
fun and
such a-
playing.
Yeah.
It's such a cute detail. I love it so much.
Really good.
Yeah, we're currently in the middle of leaving Bikini Bottom, a Sandy Cheeks movie. And SpongeBob's afraid.
Yeah.
This isn't right. They should be in Bikini Bottom.
So
Mhm.
So after that, yeah, there's another sign that says
City limits. Yeah.
yeah, and
And then they
then
plummet.
yeah, there's a sharp 90-degree drop in the road, which is like something. I wonder if this informed my nightmares at all, because that is like
Yeah.
something straight out of my nightmares.
Yeah,
I've
Yeah.
I've
seen this in my
definitely had
nightmares.
just a sharp road that you can't go back up ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're plummeting down, and there's like is there like a siren blaring?
Something like that.
It
They
feels
get
like it, yeah.
thrown to the back, and
You're on the wrong bus if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
yeah, uh, and SpongeBob starts trying to climb his way up to the front of the bus as it's falling, and we get this bit where his pants get torn off by the G forces, and Patrick dodges it. Like it hits the wall next to him, and he like laughs because he dodged it, and then SpongeBob's underwear hits him in the face, and uh, and then
Such a bit.
immediately, the thing that kills me is that immediately after this, uh, we get this shot of the bus stopping, and then they get flung to the front of it, um, and they hit the windshield, and SpongeBob is wearing his pants again. It just that always just felt weird, like
Maybe
to
the
have that
G-force put
bit
him back on.
immediately.
Yeah.
Maybe he just had second pants.
Yeah, no,
Maybe
you're
it's
right.
like that scene in Fun where SpongeBob just ripped his skin off and he was fully clothed underneath it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably the likely case. Also, I do want to say, in this shot of the bus going down, that painting in the background, uh, that has been my wallpaper for a very long time.
Nice.
It's just such a we'll get to that, but
Yeah.
It's a really good looking episode.
yeah.
Probably,
Oh
if I'm
yeah.
being honest, probably the best looking one we've gotten so far.
Mhm.
Yeah, this
Honestly, yeah, the visuals are top notch in this one.
is this is largely why it's my favorite episode. I just find it so visually stunning. The background paintings throughout this episode are just absolutely gorgeous.
It feels
And I
like an
love
episode you could only really do in season 1 because of how it looks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You were
they've
Yeah.
brought back Rock Bottom a couple times since, and like I don't think Rock Bottom looks bad in those episodes at all, but I definitely
Different.
feel like the cell animation contributes to just the vibe and atmosphere of Rock Bottom in this one.
Totally.
And also, I like the joke where the glove balloon also hits the driver from the
Yeah.
G-force.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
I think that the early instance is like solid, not like a top tier joke, but it's fine slapstick. But the the one when the bus stops, that gets a laugh out of me every time.
It's a really
Yeah.
well timed joke.
Great payoff.
So they bus driver throws them off the bus, and SpongeBob's like, well, but this is the wrong bus, and the bus driver just says, "Oh well," and then drives off.
I mean, he kind of he's in the right there,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
I don't
like
think
Yeah.
he
it's
did
kind of
anything
a dick
wrong.
move, but at the same time, it's a justifiable dick move.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's cathartic for him, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens next?
Oh, you
Well,
you
Well,
know
we're
they're
what
in rock
walking
happens
ar-
bottom
next.
now.
Okay, well, they're walking around, right?
Yeah.
This place looks
Yeah.
weird. Everything is so different, but in particular, one thing catches SpongeBob's eye in its difference. Maddie,
Even
place it on screen. It's the
There it
soil.
is.
Now,
soil.
Soil.
you may not know this, but this is one of the most divisive talking points in the history of SpongeBob. Everybody knows this. The soil debate here rages on since 1984 when this episode aired. So one of my friends, a very loyal listener of the show, has a burning question on their mind ever since this episode aired. And I want to take it to my friend Chin the Soil Fan and their call in.
All right, let's hear what they've said.
Hey, it's Jin the Soil Fan here. I heard you guys are going to be covering Rock Bottom this week on the podcast, and I just knew I had to posit my favorite SpongeBob question. Do you guys think that SpongeBob was right in killing the soil? Because I feel like it was really out of character, and the soil didn't really do anything. He just kind of talked to him, and most people say it was rude, but I thought it was justified. I mean, SpongeBob just picked him up with his hand, just unwantedly, and the soil was just like, SpongeBob, please put me down. I think that's what he said. And SpongeBob just shook his hand and killed him, and it was super violent. Like, you could see all the little Team Fortress 2-esque gibs, like when a Team Fortress 2 soldier blows up a Team Fortress 2 scout even. I was just wondering if you guys saw it the same way as I did, because I think SpongeBob was really evil for this one. It was like Evil Bob came out.
It's a really good question.
Well,
yeah.
I'm interested to hear everybody's take first.
So my take is, I wouldn't say SpongeBob's in the right, but I wouldn't say he's like a guilty party. He's not used to the soil being alive. He's very clearly startled when he just shakes it off his hand. I don't think this is intentional murder of an innocent bystander.
Now, see, here's my take. I'm sorry, Chin, I don't agree with you here. I think the soil was really mean to SpongeBob,
Yeah.
and SpongeBob acted the only way he knew how, through horrible acts of violence and killing. And this is to be expected of him, frankly, and I don't know why you think that this monster has any standards.
Yeah,
He has killed
SpongeBob
millions.
remorseless killing machine.
And
No,
the soil was just wrong place, wrong time, but he could have had a better attitude about it.
See, like, I think, like, we don't even know if he really killed the soil. We don't know how the soil biology works. Like, maybe this is like how if, like, you blow a dandelion, the dandelion like breaks up and just scatters the seeds everywhere. Maybe that's just how the soil reproduces.
I mean, I
Maybe.
guess, but this
Yeah.
particular soil's dead because it had a face and a mouth. And now it doesn't anymore because it's in bits.
Circle of life.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with Jasmine on this. I think that he was just scared. I don't know. You can't really call it self-defense because it's a pile of soil, but I don't know. I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
what
I would have
would
done
you
that.
to put yourself in his squeaky little shoes? What would you have done if you picked up a lump of soil and it spat in your face?
I'd be like,
Yeah.
Especially
terribly
after, like,
sorry, I will place you down.
especially after taking the bus to the wrong place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're
SpongeBob let
having a
his
shit day already.
SpongeBob let his horrible, monstrous anger get the better of him, and he took an innocent life.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, you're right. You've swayed
Yeah,
me.
you're right.
SpongeBob is a SpongeBob SquarePants is a rabid dog and he needs to be beaten to death with a stick.
Well,
We need
that
to reach
particular
the
wording I
Squidward
wasn't
killing
using, but
machine.
the sentiment is still the same, and SpongeBob deserves every horrible thing that happens to him in this episode.
The sediment won't be the same after it was killed, but
I get it.
Anyway, I have one more note. Is this meant to be like based on ooze, which is like sediments mixed with like planktonic matter and whatnot. Is that
Yeah.
why it's alive here?
That's
Maybe.
what I
Maybe
was
it's one of Plankton's
thinking.
relatives.
Yeah.
One of
Could be.
Plankton's hillbilly relatives.
Mm,
I mean, we do know that hillbillies live in the trench.
Yeah,
It always comes back to trench billies with
it
us, doesn't it?
does.
I wish SpongeBob had killed the trench billies like he did to the soil.
Okay. Now that's just going
So
too far.
I mean, didn't he make the one explode during the hillbilly duel?
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't actually watched
I
Trench
don't know.
Billies.
I've watched
I
it.
don't.
Yeah,
I have
Sorry.
I
not.
haven't.
I have not.
I
I've watched it a
haven't.
billion times, and I've watched it so much my memory of it has gotten to the point where I don't remember anything about it.
You
So
can't discern it from reality is the thing.
Yeah, it just happened to you.
I'm not a fake Trench Billies fan, and I want everybody to know this.
So
We
anyway,
believe you. So Patrick is like, I'm scared. I want to. I gotta go to the bathroom.
No, he's like,
But
even the bathrooms are different.
oh, right.
yeah.
Yeah. You're right. So,
Yeah.
and SpongeBob's like, oh, that's easy. We just wait and see who comes out, and that way we'll know.
And here we
Um,
get our incidental lore dump of like a
yes, we
billion
do.
different guys.
And this is like, it's in addition to the backgrounds, like this is my favorite part of this episode, is the incidental designs. They are so unique and so freaky and wonderful. Just big fan. They all make these funny little noises
Yeah.
as they're coming out of the bathroom. And they come out of the bathroom. The door opens like 3 different ways. Like it opens on like a normal hinge, and then it opens upwards somehow, and then it opens. Yeah, this one incidental 204, the cowboy hat, crawls through the restroom sign.
I
Um,
didn't even notice that. That's good.
I
it's a fun little visual gag, I think.
I love the one with the hat. I think that's my favorite design.
Yeah.
It's really good. Um, also, so yeah, I just think that the incidental designs in this and Rock Bottom were very formative to my tastes and like character and creature design, which has always been an interest of mine. So it's perhaps no surprise that I would be such a fan of this. Shout outs to bogleach.com for helping foster um, that interest. But yeah, so many great designs here. I also really like, and my favorites here are definitely Incidental 204 with the cowboy hat and Incidental 201 with the big nose.
Can we, and before we move on, can we talk about the villain of this episode, Large Eye Green Rock Bottomite here,
Yeah,
who is
uh,
omnipresent pretty much throughout the whole thing and is only a cause of strife for SpongeBob in this episode.
You
Yeah.
think this is like a species or just like one guy whose job it is to fuck up SpongeBob's day?
I think it's just one
Yeah,
person.
I
Yeah.
like to think it's the one guy.
Dude had
Yeah.
to take a lunch break before heading back to his job at the bus station, and also a bathroom break. But
I mean, if I
I've
was on my lunch break from my shitty job and I just saw like a candy bar in the vending machine, I would just take it.
yeah,
yeah,
fair enough.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're not there
Okay,
yet, though. I guess.
one more thing. One more thing about the bathroom bit. I feel like there's a very obvious thing to be said here about like, how inherently androgynous all of these
Mhm.
character
Yeah.
designs are, and that is also definitely a big reason why I love these designs so much.
It's great.
I was
The
thinking,
the
like,
whole bit is that you can't tell any of their genders from looking at them, and I think that that's beautiful.
Mhm.
this episode's about SpongeBob going to, like, this strange part of town, and there's, like, all these, like, he doesn't understand the culture. There's all these weird-looking people, and he can't, like, figure out their genders or anything. Is this, like, an
Mhm.
allegory, maybe? Is SpongeBob going to, like, the gay corner of town?
Yeah, I
Whoa.
was I was thinking about that. There's definitely some, like, culture shock stuff going on
Yeah.
here. Um,
Like a iconic season 1 episode culture shock.
it's
Yeah,
Once
'cause
actually
again
it
like
coming
that.
back.
Wow.
So,
But yeah, Patrick's freaking out.
yeah, he's not handling it well.
Yeah, he does not
Uh,
like this.
And then
So
Patrick runs off. I think.
Patrick's gonna wait for the bus while SpongeBob goes to get help.
mhm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Patrick gets the
I
bus.
just love right after that, Patrick rides by on the bus. Hey SpongeBob, the bus is here.
This tiny little Patrick is so cute.
And we get the, like,
Uh,
bulk of this episode, which is bus humor.
Yeah.
okay, so sorry. There is actually something interesting here. The music that they play here, um, as SpongeBob is trying to chase this bus, um, which I guess we should say, like, the bus, takes a 90-degree turn upwards at this cliff and goes straight up it, and SpongeBob tries to follow it, and he just keeps falling back down.
Honestly,
Um,
I gotta respect SpongeBob's hustle. He does a shockingly good job running up that
yeah.
90-degree wall.
Yeah.
Um, the music. So the song is called Mavericks, and it was only used 6 times total in the entire series. With Rock Bottom, this is the 5th time it was used. Um,
Seriously?
and the last time that it would be used, for another 4 seasons, its 6th and final usage was in Roller Cowards, which is a season 5 episode, and it's never been used since.
And that's the second appearance of Glove World, actually.
Oh,
Holy
is it
shit.
really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's the Glove World motif.
I want to talk about, like, they have all this production music in their archive, surely.
Yeah.
Like, who decides which one goes in an episode and for how long it doesn't show up again?
I'm pretty sure Nicholas Carr is like but I actually think that they this is one of those like dad rock songs Steven Illenberg had access to.
Yeah, I think this
Because
was
there's
like
a lot of
in
songs that like just aren't in their music libraries anymore.
yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of the reason why SpongeBob sounds so different now is they've just lost the licensing for a lot of that music that they started
Yeah.
with. But yeah, I just thought that that was an interesting little tidbit on the
Is this
music.
the reason we have like 30 songs called Hillbilly Blank?
Probably.
I mean, that is basically the main workaround. The more of your own
Yeah.
music you compose, the less you have to rely on the music libraries, which could disappear from underneath you at any time.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
true.
So SpongeBob's running up and he falls off, and then we get Tom Kenny old man voice bit.
Yeah, Grandpa SquarePants.
Do we
Every
ever
time
see
Tom
him?
Kenny, Grandpa
I
We
looked it
see
up.
him like we see him in like a thought bubble in The Sponge Who Could Fly, but that's it, to my
Yeah.
knowledge.
I thought the one in Blackjack was his grandfather, but I think
No,
that's
I
just
think-
his
isn't-
uncle, isn't it?
That's
Uncle,
his
yeah.
uncle.
That's his
Yeah.
uncle.
Sherm or
Uncle Captain
something.
Blue.
Yeah.
Uncle Captain Blue.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait till we get to that episode in 15 years from now.
God, me too.
That one's also season 5.
Yeah.
Lots of season 5 discussion today.
There's a lot of roots that season 5, Anyway, we get to SpongeBob bus humor now, where he okay,
Yeah.
here's a continuity error actually.
Yeah.
Yes,
He notices
yes.
his shoe was untied, so he starts to tie his shoe.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Someone
Yeah,
should
what
have
the
been killed
fuck?
for this. They made an
Yeah.
episode about something that slightly contradicts a minor scene from an earlier episode.
Or
Who'd have
this
thought?
episode takes place after that episode. Floating
Wasn't this
That is
timeline.
episode-
If they
This
did
is the
this
only logical
episode in like
explanation.
season 7, Mr. Ender would be tearing them a new one for this.
Wasn't your shoes untied like planned from the beginning or something? I feel
don't
like I
think
remember
so.
hearing. Okay, maybe not.
I know isn't it also the first episode of season 2?
It
I
is.
think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
So and this is towards the end of season 1, so like they're pretty close together.
Hmm.
Maybe him missing the bus was so traumatic, it made him forget how to tie his shoe.
Yeah.
And I also think it's funny that SpongeBob keeps his dumbass hat on for this long throughout the episode.
Yeah, I like his hat. It's cute.
He loses it about like halfway through, but it is really funny just how long he keeps it on for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
signifies his character growth that the fun times are over now.
Yeah, exactly.
Kinda does, honestly. It's like a status quo change.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So-
what happens is the harsh rock bottom winds blows away the balloon, and he chases it, and then he's like, "Oh!" And then the bus pulls up. He's like, "Oh no!" And he stops chasing his balloon to get the bus, but he misses it, and his balloon flies away, and he gets so mad that he throws his hat on the ground.
Yeah. And then
But
the
then he makes
guy.
Character defining moment.
The most goated character,
Yeah.
red
Incidental to
anglerfish bow tie.
11.
I love this fucking character design so much.
It's so good. Well, like I feel like what it's trying to do is like signify by being very similar to a lot of the like normal incidentals, like the Bikini Bottom incidentals, that this guy's like friendly.
Yeah, they are
It's
so
good
different.
visual shorthand for that.
I think he's adorable.
He's
Yeah.
very
so
cute.
cute.
The
Love
neck
that.
I want
That-
a
goes
plush
off
of this
the face
guy.
of the balloon.
that specific shade of red is like my whole shit. So
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'm very
Jasmine.
big fan.
I think just like the
Uh,
way he's like this is such like a miserable episode for SpongeBob, but this guy's just genuinely trying to be helpful makes him feel very endearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a better
So-
friend to him than Patrick was.
Seriously. So he like SpongeBob, I think asks him for help, right?
Yeah.
And,
something like that. Goes and gets his balloon.
And yeah, and then the guy runs after his balloon. And he's like, "Not the balloon!" And then he's just gone.
This is a
And the
surprise
bus comes
tool.
and goes away
a-
as soon as it arrives.
Oh, he's having so much fun as he's chasing down that balloon. Look at
He
him.
looks so gleeful.
This gay little run.
It's official. Red Anglerfish Incidental is the best character on SpongeBob. Easy S++ tier character on our SpongeBob character tier list.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
And so SpongeBob's starving to death now.
Yeah.
I didn't get this joke when I was a kid. We didn't realize this when we were kids.
Yeah, he here and after this he goes to his house and he dances with a jellyfish
Yeah.
right after.
Hold on. Keep explaining.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
pretty jarring scene when that happens because it doesn't
takes
fit
out his-
tonally with the rest of the
he's
episode.
hungry and he takes out his glove candy dispenser and squeezes it, and he takes a couple of glove candies, and then of course we didn't understand this as kids, but then he went to his house and he started raving with some jellyfish.
Every day someone falls for this.
Yeah.
I didn't understand this as a kid because it didn't happen.
Yeah, he chews on the candies and they're glove flavored.
Yeah.
It really makes you
Which-
wonder
I love
why they
that
like
joke.
Love World so much.
It did not
Okay, so this
stop
is
me.
actually gonna be like one of my 4 would you eat questions. Would you eat
Yeah.
the glove flavored candy?
Yes.
I would
Yeah,
try it
I've-
at least once because it'd probably be like those gross jelly beans.
Yeah, it probably
Mm.
tastes like, assuming glove flavor, it probably tastes like fucking
Okay, and it's a
Nintendo
type of
Switch cartridges.
it's okay, and we need to discern what type of candy is it. Is it chewy? Is it chalky? Is
I-
it
Looks
like a
chewy.
gummy?
It looks
chewy. They look
yeah,
like
has
little
to be-
gummies to me.
yeah.
has to be
I always
gummy.
thought they were chalky.
Hmm.
That's
It's
even
hard
grosser.
to tell.
That's
If
worse.
they were chalky, I would not try them. If they were chewy,
Something
I would try
chalky
one.
and glove flavored? No, thank you.
I don't like the dispenser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the disgusting nature of this did not stop me as a child from desperately wanting to know what they tasted like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just the concept of a candy dispenser that is like soft and squishy, and you like squeeze on it to dispense the candy is like kind of nasty, but
Horribly unsanitary. Like,
Mhm.
yeah,
if you get even a little bit of dirt on that thing, just throw it out.
God.
yeah. So then he spies the candy machine from
Yeah.
across the street, and he decides that he's gonna go over there and get himself a little snack. What could go wrong?
Nougat crunch.
Would you eat the kelp nougat crunch? That's
Yes.
my
Yes.
second question.
Yes.
I feel
Yes.
like that could go good. You know,
That-
seaweed chocolate bar. Oh, sure.
I mean, it'd be like a salty and sweet kind of thing, and I'd be all for
Yeah.
it.
I love seaweed. It's a good food.
Yeah.
I've never eaten seaweed, but you know
Me
what? I
neither.
feel like I should try it.
It's
Had
pretty
it a
good.
couple times.
It's good as
And-
dry, and it's good on sushi.
I
Mhm.
also just looked at the other candy bars in this vending machine, which are my third and fourth would you eat questions. Would you eat Saz?
Zaz. And hold on, I got
The thing
We
is,
got-
these
I
are
would
some like
eat Saz.
these are some
We
pretty
got
hefty looking candy bars for a candy machine. I would
Zaz.
like eat all of them.
We got 3 or W or something like that. We got T-bar.
Is the one underneath the kelp nougat crunch like a bathroom sign on a logo?
It looks
It
like it's like
look-
image,
it was
like
like-
broken image link image.
It looks
I was
like a
thinking it was a
fucking.
Q,
It looks
like
like
a square
a.
Q logo.
Looks like a shoe brand, like a Puma or whatever.
Who knows?
Would you eat the shoe chocolate bar?
Mm,
Well,
Only
better
at
than
Shoe
glove
World.
flavor.
flavored.
Only Shoe World.
That's something I'm surprised they never did. They never did like a something later
Competitor.
in this series. Yeah.
In the season 12 episode Escape from Beneath Glove World, there is a reveal that there's like a planned but failed add-on for it called Sock World.
Oh my
Great.
god.
I would have
I
gone to
can't
Sock World. Sock World would have gone. Oh my god. Defunct Man needs to cover this.
Yeah, they stole our idea in the past.
Damn.
Things were going great on Sock World's construction.
So it was Saz and what was your other
T-Bar
would you
was
eat?
the other
Yeah,
one I was
Zaz
thinking of.
and T-Bar. We got Weird 3, shoe logo, and I'm not sure what the last one says, but it doesn't. It
Yeah,
does
me
definitely
neither.
say bar in the bottom right. It's Cod Bar.
Oh, it is Cod Bar.
It's Cod Bar.
Oh,
I don't think I would eat Cod Bar.
No.
Yeah.
The idea of cod as a candy just doesn't sound
Okay,
appealing to me at
okay.
all.
I would eat
Can
Cod Bar.
we okay. Why are we assuming it's made out of fish? In this world that would be fucking horrifying.
I mean,
Well,
fish eat fish.
Are you gonna call a
Yeah,
thing
it's just
human bar?
fish.
Then how come nobody
I-
goes to the chum bucket then? If fish
I
is
mean, there's
fish in this
like-
world.
Dr. Goodbar, but that's not made of doctors.
Oh yeah, chum is dead fish, but Cod Bar is probably just like I don't know,
Is Chef Boyardee made of
Just
Chef
chocolate.
Boyardee?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, but that's a different thing.
Yeah.
So
I also
Every-
wouldn't eat the tea bar because I am
Yeah.
a trans woman and I do not
Yeah.
need any more tea than I already have.
so
Be good
This is
for,
see, this is the
somebody
like
needs it.
this is how HRT works in Rock Bottom. This is why all
Yeah.
the trans people live here.
exactly. Oh, it makes sense now.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
Do
just
you think
get your
like the
HRT
3
in
is like
candy
a
machine.
backwards and distorted E?
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah.
Wow, Rock
Finally.
Bottom's like a utopia, honestly.
This is
Let's
why
all go to the gender vending machine and get the tea bar. The
Yeah. The gender vendor.
so
trans.
so he's waiting for the candy bar, and it finally falls, and I think then the bus comes, and then he runs over to
Mhm.
catch the bus, and it drives away, of course.
Well,
And
yeah. Okay, go ahead. I was getting ahead of
Mm.
myself.
no, it's okay. And then while he's over there, oh
He
no,
runs
you're right. I
back.
am skipping. I am skipping
Yeah,
some
a long
stuff.
scene where like he like tries to get the candy bar, but then the bus comes, so he goes back and the bus drives away. So he goes back
Yeah.
to order the candy bar, and the bus comes.
I
It's a
love
very
this joke.
classical
There-
gag sequence.
There's also the bit with where he's got his hand on the candy bar, and it's like he's pressing the gas pedal, like revving the engine of the bus. I love
Yeah.
that bit.
I love
Looney
to
Tunes.
imagine. I love to imagine what the hell the bus driver's even doing.
Just
See, my-
fucking with them.
all the
They're just
earlier
fucking
instances,
with him.
My
all of
theory
the
is like
earlier instances of SpongeBob missing the bus could have just be seen as bad timing. This one's personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
see my like
And like from
theory I
this
want to
point
posit is like,
onwards, it's
Yeah,
personal.
go ahead,
what if
Glenn.
this is the bus driver that like got hit with the balloon and he's just doing all this to fuck with
Oh my
SpongeBob?
god.
He's just doing laps.
Yes. He's doing laps.
Yeah, like so he misses 4 buses prior to the candy machine. But he misses 8 buses at the candy machine.
Yeah.
This is an
Uh,
awesome bus schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, then of course he runs to catch the bus and then he doesn't get it. Then the fucking green eye man comes up and takes the candy bar.
Yeah.
He does. He does it with such like decision too. He like knew that candy bar was there waiting for
Oh
him.
yeah.
Him and the bus
He's
driver
watching.
in cahoots.
His
Yeah.
big eye.
And then SpongeBob was like, "Hey, that's mine." And then like 50 buses drive by.
God.
I really like the headcanon that it's the first bus driver messing with him now.
Yeah.
Kind of adds a layer to it.
Something I want to ask, and I'm sure it's explored in the later episode, is what is the infrastructure of Rock Bottom?
Oh, you know,
I
wall.
didn't watch the later episode.
Because in the Rock Bottom level of Battle for Bikini Bottom, it's largely the same, but for some reason they just have a museum there.
I
I
That's
wanted
wanna
to see the
go-
Rock
yeah.
Bottom Museum
Oh.
so bad.
I want to bring
Yeah.
up in the Employee of the Month PC game, Rock Bottom. Of course, there's the bus station. There's also like a
Mhm.
TV station, and
What?
and there's also a bar, which Mermaid Man goes to and gets drunk at.
Wait a second.
Mermaid Man gets drunk at the
Also
Rock
in
Bottom
Battle
gay
for
bar.
Bikini Bottom, the console version, Barnacle Boy is the night security guard there, and at one point he has dialogue that establishes that he has children.
What?
This is actually
Yeah.
something I wanted to bring up, which is like Rock Bottom hasn't shown up much in the series itself. Like, for all the nostalgia baiting and whatnot they do, Rock Bottom's used pretty sparingly, which I like. I think it's a location that should be, but it shows up like all the time in video games.
Yeah.
'Cause
Video
it's-
games
it's-
fucking love Rock Bottom.
because
I
to be
mean-
fair, like literally every location up to like season 2 and battle for Bikini Bottom, but it's such a place. They specifically made this area in the show to be a video game level later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It feels
it is.
like.
It's very easy to see why it got reused so much, just because of what a
Yeah, here's a
recognizable and
couple.
iconic location it is.
Oh
Oh, that's
yeah, like
interesting.
this
Hmm.
is an episode that I feel like I'd always look forward to seeing as a kid, just because it's such an iconic location that's so weird and cool.
Yeah,
These
here's a couple of the.
backgrounds
Yeah,
really nice.
I like
It's
these.
a little too bright for my taste. I like
Yeah,
the
especially
sky,
I don't
but
like. Yeah, I feel like Rock Bottom maybe wouldn't have the flowery like I feel like you shouldn't be able to see
Yeah,
the
because
sky at all.
wasn't the only like illumination there like the little fluorescent creatures under the water there that are like
yeah. Like that's the whole thing. It's you're not supposed to be able to see like the sunlight
Yeah,
there.
mhm.
Yeah, there's
I
just like the
am
little
like
yeah.
floaty dots.
looking
Mm.
at the screenshots from the later. They have them all in Rock Bottom,
Mm.
and I actually like how this looks. I like the visual design of this Rock Bottom mall.
I think
Yeah.
we're tangenting pretty hard
Yeah,
We're
right
I
now. We
was
should
tangenting
gonna
probably
pretty
say,
pivot
hard,
back.
Yeah, we
yeah.
can. Yeah.
So SpongeBob decides he's he is really
Two.
firmly planting himself at that bus stop. He's really trying for it now. We get
Mhm.
this little mini montage where it looks like he's standing by the candy machine, and then he starts sneaking up on the bus, and then it turns out it was just a like wooden cutout of him by the candy machine, and it falls over, and the bus drives away as soon as it
I
does.
like that the implication that the bus driver only noticed it was fake when it fell down because he's staring at the
Yeah.
back where the stand
Yeah.
is.
I
It's a
mean, it
really
makes
good
sense
point.
why it's framed like that, like just from the audience's perspective, so the joke reads, but
Mhm.
It's also
you
very
know.
funny.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
And then
And
we get
then we get
yeah, Bench
so
Bob.
SpongeBob disguising
yeah,
himself
Bench
as a
Bob.
bench.
I literally
Uh,
have
I
Bench
have a
Bob in my
question.
notes.
Is this like the first time SpongeBob transforms into something else outside of a dream sequence in the show?
God, it might be.
Oh,
Maybe.
good question.
Because like
And
all
then we
the other
get
examples I can think of are like,
Gumbob.
Ew,
Oh,
that's so awful. I
he's
never
got
Yeah.
Post
noticed
that?
that.
he's got Eustace teeth.
He does.
Put
Oh
that thing
man.
away.
stupid dog, you made me miss. That's not a Eustace voice at all. Whatever.
Stupid
okay.
dog. You make
You made
Yeah,
me
that
miss
was
the
better.
bus.
I
So
love
he's just
the.
gonna speak to management. He's going to
They're
the
just.
bus
They're
station.
just in space.
The design of
Oh.
this building is so cool. I love it.
Mhm.
Oh
The
yeah.
bus
Green
station.
glow.
Oh.
So yeah, he goes into the bus station. He has had enough. Um,
And he's gonna be first in line.
Yep. And then we get the incidental
big
220
guys.
here
I love
on the
those
right.
I love those guys.
They're really good. He says he's gonna be the first in line, and then this big scary guy stares him down, and he's like, well, I'm gonna be second in line. And then this one makes like a lion noise or something at him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
I
he
love that
just
all of
go
these
ahead.
guys are gonna get on a bus.
Yeah.
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 I love that they're just two separate bits in the episode that are just SpongeBob experiences a bunch of freaks.
Yeah, I love it. Like you can tell they just like came up with all these crazy weird designs and just really wanted to show them off. That's what it feels like
Also,
to me.
I was gonna say, big green pufferfish guy is my favorite rock bottomite.
He's so
Good.
awesome.
It's a
It's like
really
I
good
your
think the
face.
one that makes the lion roar sound might be my favorite. The other green one with the antennae and the big
Mhm.
head.
Okay, and then SpongeBob gets to the back, and then we get another anglerfish, and I have a fan theory here about this fish. This is Rock Bottom Fred.
Oh my god, you're so
Yeah.
right.
I can
Has the
see it.
same pants and everything.
He's instead of saying my leg, he's like my egg because he lays an egg.
Yeah, that's his gag. Every time something bad happens to him, he just lays an egg.
Yeah, he spits up an egg on SpongeBob's head, with whatever number.
329.
329.
329.
And don't you forget it.
And then they step forward, and then he's like, "Oh, well, at least the line's moving." And then the egg hatches, and all these little babies come out and
And then we
fill
get
the space.
the chipmunks.
Yeah.
Chipmunks.
Oh.
God, they're waiting in line for E3.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, you
sure.
chipmunks, ready for E3?
That SpongeBob gets really mad and he turns into a shirt and pants.
Yeah, and then we get a messed up like drop that SpongeBob has like an actual collar on his uniform here.
Like you could see it normally, but it's like the implication here is that like there is a stark divide between that white line and his head. It's like it's spilling out over the top, and I really don't like that.
Yeah, because normally we just see it like, oh, SpongeBob's pants are just like something he crawls into. It's a box pretty much that he puts
Right.
on. And not like the idea of thinking of him putting on his shirt and his pants separately.
It's really bizarre. But yeah, he turns into his shirt, he turtles into his pants, and then starts making rassum frassum sounds and jumping around all crazy, and everybody looks at him as such.
And
And
then the line moves.
the line moves.
You got the clock.
Yeah, the clock.
Pokeball clock.
Wait, E3.
Oh my god!
I like how there's 2 3s on this. I just realized.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you.
it is currently.
I feel like I was so fascinated by this clock as a kid.
I like that it's a Pokeball.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's
That's
getting
what
pretty
supposed
close
to be.
to 1 over here.
So, yeah, finally reaches the front of the line. He goes up to the window.
And it's
up to the
him.
counter. And
It's
it's
this
him.
fucking bastard.
I
Yeah,
guess we're assuming. We probably shouldn't assume given how
get, like-
androgynous everybody is, but
We get the first like speaking voice person here.
yeah.
Of course by
I
Doug
mean,
Lawrence.
the soil.
Oh,
Yeah, the
you're
soil
right.
does talk.
Well, the soil's dead now.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Is,
So,
I guess.
No,
we
I think the soil had it coming.
We get our second interspersed sounds between words bit in
Yeah.
this 2-episode block. When SpongeBob's trying to communicate with him and he says, "I can't understand your accent." And yeah, then we get SpongeBob doing. He asks when the next bus for to Bikini Bottom is, and the guy says, leaves
seconds.
in 5 seconds. And then the bus leaves like immediately after he says that. It's not even 5 seconds. He's like, "Oh, well, next one isn't until tomorrow morning. So And then SpongeBob has a little bit of a Karen moment. Uh,
He's a little bit of a Karen in this bit, but I think he's kind of earned it because this is like his like origin story as a villain.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think. Yeah, I think he deserves the torment though for being a brutal killer earlier.
Yeah, you're so right. It's all karmic justice. So yeah, and then as he's just yelling, the light turns out behind the counter, and the guy says good night, and then the light in there shuts off.
And then it's not darkness anymore.
I mean, he gets out his
it's
glove light,
darkness.
his Chekhov's glove light, but it
Mhm.
shorts out, also accompanied by
Immediately.
a raspberry noise.
Yeah, that's good. That's like my favorite implementation of the raspberry noise. But
And it just goes to show that everything he got at Glove World was terrible.
I mean,
Not everything.
haven't you? That is true.
Honestly, I don't
Isn't
think
isn't
he'd
that
be
your
in this.
experience?
I don't think he'd
Sure.
be in this situation if he didn't have that balloon that tormented the bus driver. He'd probably still be able to get home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's
true.
true.
I mean, isn't that the experience at amusement park gift shops, though?
Mm-hmm.
So true.
Everything sucks. So yeah, the flashlight immediately
Advanced
shorts out.
darkness.
The advanced darkness. And then we get him. He's like, "Oh, I'll just wait here. Wait here until morning," and then he hears something in the darkness. Sorry, the advanced darkness. Somebody blows a raspberry at him from the darkness, and he starts to get really scared, and he runs out in the street, and it's preceded by more and more raspberries, and closer. And does anybody remember the exact wording here of what he's saying as he's running away?
No, it's
He's like
Back off! I'm warning you.
Well,
I'm a
that's
or
at the
before that.
no more running.
that's at the
he's-
very
he's
end
like
because he's
walking-
Sprinting.
sprinting.
yeah,
Sitting.
running, and
I
then
started the punchline as him being like sitting, bleeding.
yes,
Yeah.
I wanted to
Yeah.
bring that up. I have Blood Bob in my notes.
It's like it
there's
freaked me out as a
Blood Bob.
kid, just thinking about that like face with his sunken in nose, and also the implication that he has blood and is bleeding.
Yeah, that was always very unpleasant to me as a kid.
I mean, the bleeding is nothing new, given how there was lots of blood in the paper.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So the guy.
the guy's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, our best friend is back, and he got the balloon. And SpongeBob
And
acts like a
I-
fucking prick to him.
I
Yeah.
love the lighting in this shot.
Oh, it's so
So
good. This
good.
guy just
Really good
adds
lighting.
atmospheric
Yeah.
lighting.
Yeah.
And he's just friendly. He's like, "Here's your balloon back, Sponge Boy."
Dare I say bisexual lighting?
Yes, absolutely.
I think SpongeBob should like ditch Patrick and just like be best friends with this guy.
I don't think SpongeBob deserves this guy. He's like such a prick to him. He's like, "Oh, you
Yeah.
fucking idiot! You didn't want the fucking balloon. Are you listening to me?"
But this guy could fit him.
SpongeBob,
SpongeBob
red anglerfish
redemption
man,
arc.
right?
He ties the balloon around SpongeBob's wrist while SpongeBob is just really letting him have it, and he starts blowing it up, and SpongeBob doesn't realize as the balloon starts to carry him upwards, and he's like, "Oh, I get it."
Balloon
away.
travel.
Yeah.
Balloon travel.
He's
then
like,
he-
"Thank you," and then the guy's just like, "You're welcome."
You're welcome. Yeah.
I
I
think
like
that
So
is
good.
well made.
I have a
He just keeps
headcanon
talking. Yeah,
that this angler guy isn't from Rock Bottom.
I was
Right.
gonna
He
say like the
like
way he
commutes
looks and the way he can
between.
like speak like perfect. He seems like he speaks rock bottomite, but he also speaks bikini bottomite. I think maybe
Yeah.
like he's like half rock bottomite. Like maybe his mom was from Bikini Bottom and his dad was from Rock Bottom, and so he
Yeah, I
like
can
True.
speaks
see
both
that.
languages and kind of like looks in between.
Hmm.
What's his story?
I'd like to know.
Why do they have Bubble Bass episodes when they could be having Red Anglerfish Guy episodes?
For
So
Why'd
real.
they make a
true.
Sandy Cheeks movie that was terrible when they could have made a movie about him that's awesome?
Saving Rock Bottom.
Yeah.
A red
There you go.
anglerfish movie
So he soars over Bikini Bottom
with
back home.
SpongeBob's pineapple shittily edited into the
Yeah.
establishing shot.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I didn't
Love-
notice it until I saw it on the wiki, and I was like, "Oh
Oh,
my
that's
god!"
awful. That's awful.
Love that,
Oh.
like fucking.
It's disgraceful.
Yeah, the
You gotta
keying on
pull up
that.
like
You gotta
the
pull up
bikini.
the.
No, not that pineapple. It's like the Bikini Bottom
Yeah.
establishing shot.
Oh,
Mhm.
hold on. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, right?
What is
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
I think you kind of need
I
to see it in like the whole picture to get a sense of
Yeah,
how
hold
out of
on,
place it
hold
Yeah.
on.
looks.
Let me get.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god. Why?
okay. Here it
Why
this
do
is
they
like
feel the need
this
to
is
do this?
this is the most perfect shot in the show because there's a lot to take in here. SpongeBob's house is like not near the other houses it's normally near. It's larger than most of the other buildings over there. And it looks like it doesn't even look like Photoshop. It looks like someone took a piece of like paper and put it over the cell.
I really might have. I don't know why they did. They could have just said Plants of Bikini Bottom. We know where SpongeBob lives.
But you
Yeah.
don't know that his home is here unless you see it.
Oh, this put the episode down a whole like 3
Hmm.
points in my book.
Yeah.
This is
And
like the
then
Squidward salad of SpongeBob house images.
yeah,
So
can we
he,
make that an emote? Hold on, I'll crop it out
All
after
right.
the episode.
Yeah.
so he finally lands back home.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just in time to see Patrick going by on the bus to Rock Bottom, uh, saying, "I'm coming
I'm
for
coming.
you, buddy."
I'm coming back for you, buddy. I
Yeah.
forgot about this ending joke, and it really did get
I'm
a big
coming
laugh out
back
of
for
me.
you. Just last
And
minute, one more joke.
and for some reason this episode ends with a bubble transition.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
because
don't
the
know
Oh.
story
why.
continues in Patrick and Rock Bottom Land,
Yeah, the famous season 1 episode.
Yeah.
also
then
known
he
as Red Anglerfish Defense.
the red anglerfish doesn't help him though.
No.
No.
He's loyal to SpongeBob at this point.
He's imprinted on him.
He's going to kill
Yeah.
Patrick so he can be the true best friend.
I don't like this. I don't like this yandere Red Anglerfish AU.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
don't want to
too
impose
nice.
that on
He
him.
doesn't deserve this.
I'm sorry for
No.
defaming you, red anglerfish.
Oh.
Alright, so what do we all think of Rock Bottom?
I really enjoy this one. I
Yeah.
gave it a 6. I just really like the atmosphere and vibes of this episode. It really captures that feeling of just getting lost in a weird place and having no clue what to do to get home. Lots of
Mhm.
fun incidental designs. I think generally there's solid jokes in this episode, but it's definitely one I come to more for the atmosphere than anything. But like, I don't know. I know we don't come to SpongeBob for atmosphere. We come to it for the jokes, but I
We
do
come
think
for
it
the food and
truly
water.
it elevates this episode to me.
Yeah.
This could be a very generic it could be Waiting O Zero, the prequel, but it ends up feeling a lot more special, I think, just because of the setting.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I like it.
Matt, do you?
Yeah. I gave it a 6 too. It's just very enjoyable overall. I love the like I like how it starts with Glove World for like 2 seconds. You know, they didn't have to make like a whole concept art like amusement park for like could have just been like at the bus station going somewhere. Uh but I guess yeah, the balloon and like the yeah. And I like the jokes with I just like all the slapstick stuff that they do. Um in Rock Bottom, I really like the design of just the area, the dark coloring, the just it looks so unique and like you couldn't really do this with I understand why it looks a lot different in the later seasons where they switched to digital because it's just like it's all painted and like yeah, I'd love the like just so
Yeah.
cool.
The really hand-drawn quality to it.
Yeah. I really like the incidental designs. I'm glad, you know, they got to go crazy with it because it's like, oh, it's not Bikini Bottom, it's like a other place, and you're gonna make
Mhm.
like crazy monster designs.
Yeah, that's another thing
Yeah,
I like. Just like the idea of tying this idea to like the deep sea.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's a fun
exactly.
way
Yeah.
to just represent weird other place on the show.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
trench or whatever.
Yeah.
Except no, no, not yet, not yet, not them.
Not
Uh,
quite.
I
The
love the
inferior trench.
I love red anglerfish. They are best character in season 1 now. Um
Mhm.
yeah. I like the joke with the bus and like the vending machine. Cool back and forth. Um just overall I can't think of how I would have improved this sorry. Improved this episode. Uh It's just kind of a really solid one overall. Like, it's not the best thing ever, but it's like very, very
Mhm.
good. Yeah, 6.
Am I next, or does someone
Yeah.
want to go first?
You go next.
Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, it's should be no surprise. This is a 7 out of 7 for me, easily. Uh, I'd give it an 8 if I could. I just there is really something to be said, I think, of just how much this episode imprinted itself on my mind as a child, like, and just how it stuck with me through my whole life. Just the visuals, the the humor is, I think, pretty great. There's some really good bits. I think, like Maddie said, it could be a little better, but like I can't I can't really think of any ways to improve it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, like it's just I don't know. It's just my favorite episode. I'm very
Mhm.
biased, so the backgrounds, the character design, and it just feels so unique. It's Is it just in that, like we said, it just introduces this whole new location that goes pretty much completely, uh, like it doesn't appear except in games until seasons where they start, recycling stuff from earlier seasons. Um, yeah, I just think it's really something special, and easy 7 out of 7 for me.
Mhm.
And yeah, this is that full painting that I use as my phone wallpaper.
Seems they actually like had to change like the text on the bus station.
Oh, hold on.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
maybe.
Huh.
You have to make it less legible.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not as high on this episode as the rest of you, unfortunately, despite all the beautiful things you've said about it. I think it's a good episode. I think, as people have said here and forever, that like the vibes of this episode are amazing. It has some like great creature designs and like great atmosphere. I think what drags this episode down a bit for me is that I feel like the first part is a little bit boring. Like it's a little bit slow. It kind of picks up when it gets really Looney Tunes with like SpongeBob vending machine bus gags and kind of a progression of SpongeBob like getting more and more frustrated. But I feel like there's a good bit of the episode that just kind of like plods along a bit for me. It's still like a very solid episode. Has a lot of funny jokes and is like really fun to watch just because of all the because it's really fun to look at. But overall, I think it's just like a 5 for me. But like a high 5. I've been like going back and forth between 5 and 6.
Mhm.
We're going 5.
Well, I was originally going to give it a 5, but after all this talking about it, I bumped it up to a 6. I realized I really enjoy talking about this episode. It's got a lot of fascinating stuff to it, a lot of just a lot of really fun visuals, like the best in the series. If you ignore like literally the last 10 seconds with that pineapple, this
Yeah.
it's just a really fun episode, and even the really boring bits I can forgive because it's more or less in service of building up an atmosphere. It's a fun time. I enjoy this one a lot, and I enjoy it even more getting to discuss it today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2.5 stars.
There we go.
And that was Rock
That was
Bottom.
those episodes. Yeah.
Yippee.
Next
We did
time.
another one, I remember.
Yeah. Arg. Next time we will be covering Texas and Walking Small.
Oh
How?
shit.
Yay! Woohoo!
Well, it was really nice being here, and again, thank you guys for having me. I had a lot of fun talking about this.
It
Yeah.
was great
Yeah,
to
and
have
thank
you.
you for joining us. It was great to have you this week. Or
Thank you.
these weeks.
Yeah.
Either or.
For this
we really
past week that we sat and called together in complete and total silence.
we
Yeah.
really learned a lot about each other that last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just standing there in the advanced darkness.
But
Yeah.
it was great to have you. Hopefully you'll come back on for one in the future.
I'd love
Yeah.
to.
So how are we ending this one?
Next time we're watching the. Oh wait, we were like almost done season 1, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess so. We've got like, let's see, 1, 2. We got 3 blocks to go. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, next time we're
Okay.
getting another sandy bomb with Texas, and then a little bit of plankton action as we walk small.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Are,
a little bit
did
of plankton action.
did any of us think we'd get this far into the podcast?
I thought we'd at least
I
get
had
season
faith
1
in you
down,
guys.
despite
Yeah.
everything.
Well, I hope we can get through at least 2 season 5, I think is my goal.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
fair, yeah.
At least through the movie and a couple seasons after that would be nice.
But
Yeah.
that's the end of this episode.
Sure is.
Sure is.
Bye.
Maybe.
Bye.
Jump scare.